All right, everybody, it's our Clow here, and as always, I am tremendously excited to present today's information to all of you. And if you are new to the channel, there is a very good chance this will seem very overwhelming to you. I encourage you to just take notes, follow along, and do additional research where you see fitting. Feel free to ask questions below. For those of you returning and who have been following this channel for however long, welcome back. I am so excited to present to you again all of these fascinating insights. And there's so much I would like to go over. I'm really going to jump just right into things today and start unpacking this information around why I think it is so fucking interesting that Maynard James Keenan from Tool is going to be opening a vineyard in Arizona next month in October, on October 6th. So in order to understand why this is so fascinating to me, it's really important that we look at the history of this channel just a bit. Granted, this is the third iteration of my YouTube presence. I want you to see that the very first video that I put on this channel was looking at Tool's Schism music video and unpacking all of the occult symbolism therein. Even as you can just see right here, released on May 15th. Again, that apocalyptic 515 and all the other bits. But I also want you to bear in mind that I have really unpacked a lot of the symbolism surrounding him. This video put out back in 2016, looking at, again, his focus on wine back then, but his autobiography, A Perfect Union of Contrary Things. And again, what that has to do with the duality and, again, the great work. We're going to get into all of this with his Caduceus winery, cellars, all of the things today. But I also want to hone you in to the fact that this is located, his winery here. We're going to get the name for you. Merkin Vineyards, Pocket Park, Gelateria. But again, in Arizona, because, and this goes back to years ago on this channel, when we were talking about Tool's song, referencing Bill Hicks' comedy routine, Arizona Bay. And so again, when I'm looking at this, and it's talking about Hicks's routine saying the world would be better if Los Angeles were to fall into the ocean, right? And then the serenity of Arizona Bay, right? All of these pieces. You can see the length here, the nice mirrored 6556, that's an 1111. And all of this is going to be coming down to some very crucial coding, but do notice the recording for this began on November 22nd, and again, a reference to Kennedy's assassination date, and again, 11 and 22, that's 33, a master Masonic number, and we could even take this one further, right? The complex located on a hilltop in Old Town Cottonwood, that's 623. It's a mirrored 326 because Kennedy was assassinated on the 326th day. And it really only gets better from here. I do want to reference that this recording for this album ended in June of 1993, although it was not released until February of 97. But again, 1993, an incredibly important year, and later on we're going to be tying it to the jackknife statue in Scottsdale, Arizona, right? This cowboy riding, and again, how this is all going to tie into Botched, who were formed in 1993 and happen to have this incredibly similar looking fucking logo. Are you kidding me? But so check this out though, because I want you to hold on to these numbers. Again, you can see this statue was completed in 1993, and Scottsdale, which is located on the 33rd parallel over here. Again, all of this fascinating information. But I want you to see here, I just want you to hold on to where it's located. The fact that it's a 777. Are you fucking kidding me? Because with all of this information, how can we not be reminded of the Temple of Understanding and its location at 777 UN Plaza, right? New York, New York. And hold on to this 117 that we get down here as well, because that is going to be, again, immensely important. I have a couple other tabs pulled up here I want you to see. In talking about, right, Tool's Anemia, both album and song. From the album artwork, as you can see, I have pulled up here, there is the imagery of the West Coast falling into the Pacific Ocean, and then the painting here of Bill Hicks. So a lot that could be said for those pieces, but I feel like that is sufficient enough groundwork for us to actually start looking at this here. So what I want to do is start picking this apart with the geometric value. So look at Old Town Cottonwood, and I want you to see, amongst many things here, the number 258 written out. And the reason that I have that is on the right side of your screen, you can see the references to 33 is the key, and nothing by coincidence. We're past that on this channel. So the fact that my very first video on here was pulled at 33 likes is by no means a coincidence. 11, 2, 112, that is the simple geometric value for Arizona Bay. All right, it goes on and on. So back over here, I want you to see that just what are the fucking odds that 258 happens to be the same as November 28th. And the reason that I have this Merkin Vineyards Pocket Park Galateria flagged up here for that 414 value is because the only other number that's had that is when I did the coding for Tyson versus Jones live on pay-per-view, which all of you should remember if you follow this channel, was the big fight, right, with Mike Tyson coming back. All of the things that took place on the 333rd day of that year, right, which was 2020. So again, you can see all of the things that I have over there and how all of these numbers, right, connect right over here. I want you to see the connection to 187 with Tyson Triller, again, one of the companies he's associated with, because 187 is written out. And notice as well the phrase, let's get ready to rumble. But before I go at that, notice as well how this shares coding with the two keystone pieces from my previous video, i.e. Kiss's End of the Road tour and Botch's 122 single. Again, Kiss's tour ending on December 2nd. All of the information in my previous videos about that is really quite stunning, so please take a look at it. But with that, notice as well the Roman numerals for 2023 alongside my name. So all of that showing that we are right on track over here. So let's take a look at this real quick, because Merkin Vineyards happens to have a simple value of 187. So it is no secret that the police code for homicide is, right, 187. Merc is also a way to, right, reference somebody's that somebody has been killed. But I also just want to draw you into, it's very difficult to find you know, the etymology with the name Merkin. So this is what comes up when you check the pulse of the beast. And again, you can see its reference to the word mop, which has a simple English value, simple value of 44. And then you can go on here, and it's very interesting because it starts to connect over to the different LGBT slangs, and ultimately you see from Wiki here, merkin is a pubic wig. And so, as you know, I'm very troubled by a lot of the perversion that has been happening because of its connection to the great work and what it means to set and then overstep various taboos. But of course, with all of this, Maynard is no stranger to supporting, whether it's drag, this, that, the other. He's a very outwardly eccentric guy, all right? And so all of this is, again, very, very compelling to me. So I'll come back to all of that in a moment here, but what I want you to notice is for Merkin Vineyards, it has written out the date November 7th. Now, this is exceptionally interesting to me because this year, 2023, November 7th is the 311th day of the year. Now, not only does that reduce as 33, but we also see that November 7th is actually 33 days after the opening of this vineyard, on October 6th this year. So very, very compelling, all right? Notice as well the references to Northern Lights and Operation Aurora, i.e. Aurora Borealis, and I recommend that you go check out my Natural Born Killers video for some more on that. But so again, JFK assassination reference, and you also get this number 357. And I'm going to point that out because it happens to be the simple value for the Caduceus Cellars Hilltop facility, which shares 4 horsemen of the apocalypse and terrible last days of the apocalypse coding. And so you can see that written out very clearly here on their website, talking about the opening of their facilities, on and on and on. You see that they're located at this 77 Verde Heights Drive in Cottonwood. All right, so you've got all of these big pieces over here. Of course, 270, drop the 0, nice death number. But so take a look here as we just continue to build from that opening date of 10/6, noticing that 77, because again, 77 is the simple value for Caduceus, right? And for those of you unfamiliar with the symbolism, the immense importance connected to it, I've got this up on the screen for you. So again, please read on its various connotations here, right? The unifying of opposing forces, symbolizing the integration of the 4 classical elements, right? Connection to the number 4, all of the things. So I want you to also see, because it's located at this 770 address, when I type this in here, you can not only see that, yes, it was the previous location of a Masonic lodge, but that after that lodge closed, it was slated to go to a winery called Galileo 33. Again, very interesting reference to that number. Remember, in Crowley's Book of Lies, the 33rd chapter is Baphomet. And if we want to keep tying into, there's no coincidence, 33 thumbs up, and 15, the 15th tarot card, is the devil, right? Baphomet, for this tool video that very first appeared on this channel. So again, all of that significantly important. You can also see that the acreage on this is 7.52. Of course, 5 and 2 is 7. So there you have another 77, right? It really is stacked like that, on and on here. You can see how this shares coding with everything from Fuck Law, remember, which was spray painted on the Lincoln Memorial. We did that video years ago. You also have New Aeon, Sacrificed, Sacred Code, and Crisis. Now, I also want you to notice, again, the coding here for Caduceus.org, right, which is the actual website that they have listed here, and so very easy to see that. But why I reference this is because it has that simple value of 117, just like the date November 7th is so interesting. And as I was telling you towards the beginning of this video, to hold on right to this Temple of Understanding zip code over here with that 117. So all of these pieces so fucking interwoven. Now notice here as well, written out here, you have references to 118. Now this could also be looked at as 33 days from the opening, right? Because if I don't include the end date, 10/6 to 11/8 is, right, 33 days. So again, that would be fascinating because it would coincide with the 7-year anniversary of Maynard's book, A Perfect Union of Contrary Things. Now again, it is very easy to find that this right, the acreage here is listed on this article as 7, and so again, just so we can have some things for the number 7 on your screen, you have all of this that we've looked into in the past, right? Number of notes in music, continents, 7 seals, 7 trumpets, stars, on and on. And as we'll be talking about here shortly, its connection to the seed of life and its 7 circles, right? Connected again to 7 days of the week, 7 metals of alchemy, and the 7 chakras. So again, all of this supremely fascinating to me. And notice as well the reference to soft ice cream, because again, as I talked about years ago, the connection to Baskin Robbins, the number 31, the Pez theory coding, all of that having coming back right to ice cream, and what that means. Of course, Biden now has all the connections to ice cream because of his stupid ass. But look here as well, because 117 also gives us syphilis. And the reason I mention that is because when we look back here at the Merkin, it talks about sex workers using them to cover up signs of disease such as syphilis. Now, what are the fucking odds? You know as well as I do that Wikipedia is a highly contrived everything, okay? So look here as well, because the simple value of 117 gives us the numbers 7 and 6 written out. So a simple value of 76 should surprise nobody that we have coding for things such as vaccine, the mark, plan. But I also want you to see it's the same coding as Maynard, right? As in Maynard James Keenan. All of the things. Now, it's very interesting because Caduceus Cellars is located at a 760 address, all right? And so I could easily go right over here and scroll down. I'm going to come back to all the symbolism, don't worry. But so I thought he had it right on this page somewhere here. In any case, Caduceus Cellars is located at 760. It's right around the corner from this main one that we're talking about at 770. So I'm not going to get too lost in the mire on that. But so, again here, let's take a quick look. And of course, yes, Caduceus Cellars, CC33. at this 10/6 date when it's going to be opening, right? So you have references here because it's the 279th day to the emergency broadcast system, the number 828, which is, right, when we add 414 to itself, right, is 828. It's a Pez theory number. And again, Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, all the dualism in there. Now, there are 86 days remaining from the opening of this vineyard. So the reason that I pull this up here is you can see here, Seed of Life has a simple value of 86, and it shares that with Disease X. And again, remember my World Economic Forum talking about David Blaine and all those other pieces talked about Disease X in its discussion. Remember, David Blaine spoke on the 33rd day of the government shutdown, all of the things. All right. But so what I really want you to see here is if we go over to the Seed of Life, and again, it's connections to the number 7, but you're probably asking yourself, Cloud, why on earth are we looking at the Seed of Life? So let me back up just a little bit here. And it's because for the Merkin vineyards, they use the Seed of Life sacred geometry behind the Vitruvian Man, right? And behind, right, or excuse me, in front of that, in 2 of the renditions, one for the Galateria, is the all-seeing eye, and here with its pyramid, right, of ice cream, right, the 2 opposing pyramids, right, all of the things that we could go into on that. And so again, the just amazing occult stacking that this guy does is overwhelming. I wish I had so much more time to unpack it for all of you, but to just put it on your radars as is, I think is incredibly important. And I also want to pull us back here because again, in this video that I put out talking about Los Angeles being destroyed, the jerseys 7 and 6, right, coming up, and as we were just talking about, the written out numbers 7 and 6 in all of this, right, connected to Maynard in all of these major pieces. So unpacking this a step further, you see the Seed of Life, right? And it's simple coding for 119, I'll be damned. Now there you have all-seeing eye. You also have references here to not only 11-3, but that could also be seen as 311. Just like November 7th will be the 311th day of this year. How peculiar. Notice as well, order of death, master plan, all of the things. Right, I want you to also see here the reference to Caduceus Vineyards. And again, I could jump over here. And this is what I did have highlighted at the bottom of the screen because that is the copyright for them. But you can see, of course, the 3rd and 22nd letters, that 322. But written out here, September 11th, the number 119, just like the simple value for the Seed of Life. And the planet Saturn, what so much of this is done, right, in conjunction with. But so, again here, as we're looking through this coding, notice, right, Caduceus Sellers, again, CC, reference to a perfect union, again, directly tied to Keenan's book. Notice as well 888 written out, tremendously important number, obviously, all of the things. But in relation to this, check out the sell date for the property that this is located on. Not only do we have the 88, right, from August 8th, but 2 + 1 + 5 is 8. So you can actually view that as a 888. How amazing, okay? So again here, you can see the references to It's Inevitable, The New World, The Hidden Secret, right? All of the things. And I have Intercourse marked because I really want you to go back and watch my adult film industry video. It is kind of everything, and it is one of the videos that I watched prior to putting this presentation together for all of you. So again, a little more on the number 147 on the right side of your screen there. in all of the major things. You can also see from that video the connections to 414 and the ideas of a false flag. Now, what I really want you to see here for Caduceus Sellers VSC Ventura Room, the reason I put this in here is because I was trying to figure out why he had this 353 and again over the seed of life here. And again, I just thought it was very fucking interesting that the simple value for, right, Caduceus Sellers VSC Ventura Room is 353. And so I wanted to unpack that. Obviously, it's a mirrored number. So if we write it out, you'll see here the United World, Project Phoenix, Emergency Broadcast, as well as Spirit of Moloch. And again, thinking about all of the rainbow flags going around lately, the youth being sacrificed to this dark energy, right? The Moloch energy in our world, being made to be sterile. All of the things that are so fucked up right now, all of this tying in with all of that, okay? So I'm going to pull up on the right side of your screen because you also see the number here, 244, written out, and again, immensely important because it connects us to the Judith beheading Elephanes, right? All of the things that we talked about. Artemisia, who is the artist behind this particular rendition, will also come up in today's coding, all right? So again, all of these things on the right side of your screen. But I want you to also see here written out is 144. Now, how very interesting that the city in which all of this, right, is largely taking place in is Cottonwood, which has a fucking simple value of 144. Okay, and so again, you can see here the connections to all of these major pieces that we've looked into, right, including Mark of Beast, New Age religion, again, the number 44, Order of 11, on and on and on, right? Scarlet Woman most certainly coming up and trying to look at the etymology for Merkin, right? As you saw earlier, untidy woman, and how that would connect again to chapter 77 from Book of Lies discussing Layla and Our Lady Babylon, right? So again here, references to President Biden, the economic reset, all of the things. What I want you to also take note of is Cottonwood being a compound word with the 3rd and 23rd letters. Again, 323 being a date I discussed in my last video, and there's a lot of really good stuff in there. But again, you can see the simple value for it is 2023, as well as the thelemic phrase, love is the law, love under will. All right, so all of the things, no mistake, how tightly that's all connected. Now, I also want you to take a look here at Scottsdale, right? And again, part of why Scottsdale comes up so heavy on the radar is when we're looking at all of this. Let's go ahead and get this closed out. They have, right, and as you can obviously put together, I've been pulling from right here, but they have this Scottsdale, right, tasting room. And so, as I was discussing earlier, the connections are definitely very noteworthy. Scottsdale is said to be one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, right? Its official logo is, right, this cowboy, right, riding the horse. And the 33rd parallel, it does have ties to, I believe it's the Rockefellers. Yep. So you can see here again, just that money flowing in, all of the things. It's a very interesting town. And again, I don't want to get too stuck in the mire on it, but you can see here, because I do want to emphasize just the importance of this jackknife statue. And again here, located in just so many crucial spots throughout this research. So let me tie back here. So you can see here Scottsdale having that 118 coding, and remember 118 can be looked at as 11/8, one of the possible dates for 33 days after this facility opens. But notice it's the same as Botched jackknife. What? Again, this is Botch's logo, this is jackknife. No fucking coincidence. You also have the references to Great Reset, Great Work, 515, right? Reject the all the things. Dakota 16, the references to Mount Rainier, St. Helens, all the previous videos I've done, okay? But so notice here for Scottsdale, Arizona, you have the master builder number and the simple value. And then you do have here again the Marburg virus, which again, they really built it up, right? Earlier this year, saying that this is going to come, right? And again, in my previous videos, I want you to, again, just take a look. And again, the article here happening to have, right, 42 likes on it. And again, you can see for Scottsdale, the numbers 4 and 2 written out. All there. All right. Again, Scottsdale, Arizona, the blood sacrifice ritual, September 13th. Upcoming storm, sweetest taboo. Again, how that connects to the idea of transsexual sex and Crowley's belief in, right, sexual magic. So again here, city of Scottsdale, we could look at that as a symbol of 196. That is the same as one world economy. And I'll go ahead and pull up another one for you on this side over here. Looks like it's been a while since we've had that coding come up. I do want to pull up for you, since we very briefly said it earlier, the number 4, all of the significance of that on the right side of your screen. But so here we are back at Scottsdale, and I want you to see its official slogan, the West's most western town. And again, thinking about that in conjunction with the idea of Arizona Bay, right? What happens if fucking California is knocked into the water, right? As is depicted in Tool's Anemia artwork, right? It would in fact be the West's most western fucking town. And notice here, Trump 2024, as well as this is where the elite sacrifices kids, right? So a lot to be said on that. Notice as well the coding for jackknife is a simple value of 70. Again, drop the 0 for the number 7. It's also the same as Merkin, right? All of these other pieces, right? Zombie, thinking about my Last of Us information, and all of the things. So I have a lot of this written out just to make sure it made it in. But notice here, if we go Cottonwood, Arizona, symbol of 228, there's adult film industry, United States of America, and, right, God of Destruction. If we combine Seed of Life, Caduceus, right, you can see here Make America Great Again. The number 23, again, all of my research on that, the idea of the 2 triangles, and again, just so you really can keep coming back here and putting this together, as I was saying earlier, right, on this symbolism here, the 2 triangles, one of ice cream, one of the pyramid, alongside the all-seeing eye. Okay, it's all here, right? It's all so very important, right? This VSC Ventura room, no doubtably important. Again, having the same coding as the Great Invocation. And what I want to finish the coding on is this Merkin Vineyards org. Again, the main website here. And yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to find it, but that is the main spot. And so again, if I were to pull up this simple value of 227, I'm going to go back to the very last time that it appeared. It was in my previous video, right? Talking about Botched, Last of Us, all the things. And again, coming up as you see on the right side of your screen. Whew. Okay. I think that is all of the information that I wanted to go over today. I really had to push that because, again, I wanted that all to come out clean for you. I know it is rushed. I'm a little lightheaded from just pushing through on all of that. I'm sure there are pieces in here that I neglected, unfortunately. However, I feel like if you are able to come back through, watch this video, and again, pull it apart, look through this coding, you will see how this is all so very deeply interwoven. All right. And so I really do want to thank all of you so very much for your continued support of this channel and for just doing whatever it is you do in this world. I am definitely of a belief to say that if you find yourself viewing my videos with any sort of regularity, that you are almost undoubtedly attuned to a very high frequency. So best of luck to all of you and all of the things that are to come here, and please, please be well.